Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anime Sickos, the podcast for geniuses, where we talk about the 4 things that we hate to do. Watch anime, do gaming, make posting, and go do job. They're truly the worst. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
Today is a very special episode. A long time ago, by say long, I mean like a month, which is the longest period of time that has ever been in human history. We asked our listeners, who would be your dream guest for Anime Sickos? There was a lot of answers that we could not possibly do, but one of them was an actual child. And guess what? We have an actual child here today. It's my niece, Issa. Issa, introduce yourself. Hello. Thank you for being here.
Hello, thank you. My name's Issa. I'm an entrepreneur and a very enthusiastic beekeeper, and I'm ready to talk about anime and gaming and posting and whatnot.
Yeah, and school is the jobs of children. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
It's a thing you have to do and that sucks?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Issa, you have been my niece for, I'm pretty sure, your whole life.
Yeah, I mean most of it, probably.
And I gotta ask you, I've asked it of all of our guests, and I have to ask it of you now. Issa, are you an anime sicko?
Legally in at least, like, a few countries. At least.
How so? What's your reasoning?
Well, I feel like over in Japan itself, I probably wouldn't compare. I think I would be left in the dust. Yet, I think in places like Norway, I would be insane, like, wow.
No, I don't think we've ever considered the sort of cultural context of anime sicko. Do you think we would measure up?
I don't know. I assume that even the most stoic Japanese businessman watches Dragon Ball all the time.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
The Yakuza love Doraemon, and if you insult it, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
Issa, I gotta ask. And this is just because, like, I don't understand the kids these days, and I don't know what sort of life you live. Do you consider yourself a kid or a teen? Because I don't understand which it is. I don't know what year it is that you make the switch.
I'd like to think that it just cut off at I don't know what year it is. Anyway, I consider myself a teenager. Yeah.
Okay.
13 is in the name.
Yeah,
okay.
That's. I didn't want to say anything, but that's when the numbers start. I don't know if that's new information to you, Tom.
Yeah, he doesn't know what years is, so.
I remembered when I turned 13, and I felt like I was like, my main mission in life was still to eat Oreos and watch cartoons, which was like, nothing has changed.
Yeah,
it wasn't until like 15 that I felt any different. I'm like, oh no, I'm a teen. Whoa, crap.
Well, when you turned 13, your sailor suit just got tighter and you got a slightly smaller lolly.
Yeah, no, the lolly was the same size, but I got bigger, so it seemed smaller. So Issa. Mm-hmm. I know that you watch anime because one time you asked me what's a good anime to watch, and I told you Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. And then like a year went by and you didn't do anything about that. And then I said again, you should watch Hunter x Hunter, and then you watched it. What was that experience like for you?
Oh my God.
It was messed up for me, and I'm an adult.
Would you watch all of it? It's all done?
Yes, it's all done. It's all watched in my brain.
How long did it take you to consume it all?
Like, no joke, like 2 months.
Look, good.
So you just shotgunned it. That's perfect.
Oh, yeah. It would be 7 to 8 episodes a night, every time we had time, so...
So Gon and Killua, they basically, like, their lifestyle is, like, exactly the same as yours, right? Because, like, your peers.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, the average kid might do, like, a slightly more violence, but, pretty much everything else equal.
What would your Nen power be, Issa?
I
really hope you've thought of this in advance.
Oh, no! Oh, this is really important. This is gonna go on my permanent record. I don't know.
Or a better question is, did you have envy of a specific power? You're like, yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
I wish I had the powers of both rubber and gum.
That's like the dumbest one in the show, but legit, like probably one of the better ones.
Oh God, I mean, I think that Hisoka, his powers are very envious, because I feel like he has so many more powers that he just doesn't tell us about, you know? Like,
That's for sure
people
true.
would immediately look at him and be like, I'm going to run away when they see his face. Like, and they don't, which leads me to believe he does have hypnosis, you know.
Did you notice, because I didn't notice this until Joe told me, and I went back and looked, and I saw that it was true. So I assumed that, like, the stuff on his face, you know how he, like, draws stuff on his face?
Yeah.
I assumed that was, like, tattoos. At one point, he's taking a shower, and his face looks really normal. He draws it on every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just assumed that it was like a magic thing, or like like a part of his skin, like he was born that way.
No, he does it joylessly every day. And I'm glad you said he has other powers that don't come up, because literally the first thing he does in the show is make a guy's arms disappear.
Yeah.
And they become, I think, is it butterflies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they call him Hisoka the Magician, and that's when I was like, what do you, like, when did you do a magic show that people know you as a magician?
Yeah.
I don't feel like you ever got booked.
Yeah.
All right, so Issa, you watch Hunter x Hunter. It's insane. What are your sort of main animes?
Okay, well, there's been a lot of anime throughout the years, but I'd say, like, right now the ones that I'm particularly interested in is Kimetsu no Yaiba. It's so good. It's amazing.
That's Demon Slayer to
Demon
us
Slayer, yeah.
English speakers.
I'm not current on the manga, but I read a ton of it, and it's very good.
Oh, yeah.
Did you watch the anime at all, Joe? Because it's like I read the manga. The manga is good, but the anime is like really good.
I saw the animation for the first time. The sleepy kid uses his lightning slice, and it was like the most beautifully animated thing I've ever seen.
It's really good. It's really pretty.
What's the thing that gets you? What's the hook?
Oh my gosh, it's Butterfly Girl. Butterfly Girl's the best.
Oh, she is.
So cool.
Wait, what's her name? Well, yes, the butterfly. Her name is Shinobu Kocho. I'm reading the wiki right now. Shinobu.
Yeah, she's so cool. Oh my gosh, like just imagine, like you're in old timey Japan. Everybody's fighting with swords and whatnot, trying to kill these demons, and somebody just comes up and they have like a gun, right? And everybody's like, oh, you stupid! You know the only way to fight a demon is a moon sword, right? Whatever they're called. And then they cock it. They go, and then they go, and then the demon dies, and everyone's like, how did that happen? They're like, poison.
It really makes all the time you spend practicing swords seem super dumb.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I were to like sort of guess at how that plot line went based on like anime I've seen in the past, it would be like poison works really well on like low level demons. But like if there's a very strong demon, the poison, it just sort of like makes them sort of like tired, or like it makes them hurt a little bit and makes them like a little bit slower. No, this poison apparently just like as soon as it touches a demon at all, no matter what, they just sort of goopify.
Yeah. Oh god, it's really disappointing. It's not.
I mean,
yeah.
it's disappointing, but at the same time, it's one of the rare occasions where like a power is advertised as being really cool and really good, and then it actually works like right.
The inverse of that, poison-wise, is in Hunter x Hunter, where there's the horrible worms that go into the guy, and it's like, oh, he's gonna die for sure, but the cure is that if he drinks a single beer, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes, and it's not even like he's like, oh, I'm a teetotaler, this is a problem. He's like, the beer that I would have drank tonight anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Hunter x Hunter, we got Demon Slayer. There's got to be a third one. There's got to be 3.
This was an old one, really old, really bad. It was the first one I ever watched. Was Fairy Tail, and it was so bad, and I didn't know at the time because it was the first one I watched. It was garbage, but it was so. Oh no!
That's one of those that has like, it's not One Piece long, but it has an insane amount of episodes, right?
Yeah, I was on like 215 when I decided this is enough.
So this is a really interesting sort of coming of age thing that all anime fans have to go through. And I want to know what it was like for you. And I'm talking specifically about that horrible realization when you realize that this show that you've watched for, I don't know, 100 hours of your life and have really enjoyed, you just sort of come to realize, like, oh no, this is really bad.
Yeah.
What caused that? What made that switch flip?
It was when in the part of the show where everybody died and they came back to life and nobody remembered them and they had to start fresh. And things that happened in the first season started happening again. They were stuck in a rock and and like 7 years passed. And they used to be on top, and now they're on bottom, because nobody remembers them. 7 years, crazy. And they get out, and then everything from the first season starts happening again. That's when I call my friend, and I tell him, no more. And he goes, what? But you haven't even gotten to, like, I say, no more. It's enough. It was bad.
You have demonstrated incredible instincts in this moment of trial.
This is a lot of willpower. At no point did I ever think I could stop watching Dragon Ball. Like, that would never have occurred to me. There were parts where I was like, oh, this sucks. But the idea that I could just stop was just not a thing. So how's the pacing in Fairy Tail? Is it like every other anime that is a bajillion episodes in that it is painfully slow and weird?
Oh, it's so slow. It's so slow. Like,
incredible.
The one girl, Lucy, she is like keys. Her power is like keys. And, and so she has to,
this sounds good. I think I want to watch this show. That's awesome.
So she has to, like, collect the keys. And she starts out with, like, 3 master keys, which is, like, super crazy and cool, right? So you think, oh, okay, so she's gonna get, like, a lot of keys, like, really fast, because right now she really sucks. But no, she stays sucky, and she never gets better. And anytime she finds a key, it always burns in her hand, or, like, she throws it off a cliff, or, like, it's horrible, and she never gets better, and it's sad, and it's just, the pacing is so bad. Nothing ever happens, keys are lost. Ugh.
Does it have, like, the Bleach problem where there's only one character who accomplishes everything, and, like, he's just the person who does everything, and everyone else is just useless?
No, it's actually, I think, like, the other, like, completely different, honestly. It's where, like, for one arc, just one guy is doing everything, right? And then the next arc, there's, like, a new villain. You're like, oh, that stuff that he did before, he'll do it now. But no, now that guy's taking a back seat, and we got new schmuck over here who's gonna kick his butt, you know?
Mm-hmm. All the other guys' abilities are on cooldown now. He can't do them now.
Yeah. They lost their keys!
Oh my god, that sounds absolutely infuriating. And Joe brought up Bleach, and I just want to say, if ever anyone ever tells you, Issa, to look at Bleach, do not listen to them, because Bleach sucks so bad.
There is some point, I guess, in Bleach where you're supposed to pretend it ended, and if you do it at that point, the show is good. I don't know what that is.
I'll tell you what it is. So I read the manga, which still wasn't even that good. It was like a B. But the reason that it gets bad is it starts out with our hero who's a kid and he learns how to fight monsters. You know, it's anime. We've been there. Yeah. Then he meets a couple of his friends who also have the ability to see and fight monsters. And I'm like, okay, we have a nice group of guys and they each have like interesting and fun powers, except for the protagonist whose power is that he's very good at hitting things with a sword. And that's his only power. Anyway, they have to like go to the world of the dead and like overthrow some they have to like get their friend back who's going to get executed in Dead World and double die, which is like permanent dying. And then there's like a big council of like dead guys who are in control of the afterlife, and one of them gets killed and it's a big conspiracy, like who killed him. And there's a big villain that we hate who's like definitely going to kill the person that everyone's trying to save. And our main guy is like, you're just not strong enough, main guy. You have to go to this crazy like training realm and train harder than anyone ever has. You're going to have to learn a technique in 2 days that takes a normal person a year. And he does it, and it's incredible. Like, everyone is like fighting to hold back the bad guys, and like, oh, where's the main guy? Where's the main guy? And right at the last second, he shows up, and he's mastered the technique, and he absolutely wipes the floor with the big bad. And then the guy, like the councilman who got killed earlier, is like, I'm actually alive. I faked my own death. I've been behind it all. Haha. And our main guy is like, well, guess what? I'm going to fight you. And he uses his ultimate ability and swings his sword at the bad guy. And the bad guy stops it with one finger and like absolutely demolishes him and gets away unscathed. And I'm like, oh, so literally every single character in the entire series is 1,000 times less powerful than the main guy. And the main guy is 1,000 times less powerful than the villain. So I'm done.
Yep.
Issa, I gotta talk to you about gaming.
Oh, yeah.
It's simply a requirement.
Gaming.
So, to me and Joe, when we think of a video game, like the default version that comes into our heads is a game where you play as an ape and you want to jump and walk to the right.
Yeah. So how do you feel about games where the only goal is to walk to the right side of the screen? Is that boring to you?
Like, if a game was sold to you as a game where, like, pretty much the only thing you do is jump, like, would that even seem real to you?
I think that, yeah, that would be insane. Like, that would be horrible content. You would at least want, like, you know, like, it'd have to be, like, some cool indie game, and the indie game had to have incredible art, and if it didn't have that, then what does it have? You know?
Okay.
It's got jumping. You got to play as an ape. I don't understand. This seems great to me.
But what you need, Tommy, the formula is an ape with a gun and in 3D, and that's it.
And it's a first person. This is just Overwatch. You're describing Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we bring up how the teens game. When we talk about the teens gaming, there's an obvious elephant in the room, and that's Fortnite, a game that to us seems like the worst game of all time.
Fortnite scares me because I used to do a lot of tutoring, and all of the teens and younger were really good at Fortnite, and I felt like they are just getting practice for the climate apocalypse where they get to hoard resources and build like shanty towns very quickly and then snipe me. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you are gurgling up your last breath and your blood is drowning you, you see them floss dancing above you, and it hurts. Like that hurts worse than the bullet.
Yo, for sure.
Honestly, like what I say to that is Fortnite scares me as well. It's for even an age younger than me. I've been walked up to by like kids in preschool, and they'll go up to me, they'll say, "I will default dance on your grave."
Oh my god!
Yeah, they're all more powerful than Navy SEALs, and they're like 5. That's, oh, Jesus.
Have you ever seen an action movie where the hero like beats up 100 guys? If the hero turned a corner and saw a kid, and that kid said that to him, the hero would just explode.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're terrifying though. They really are. And they seem like nice kids, but then you're playing the game and whatever, and into the mic, first of all, it's horrible. The mic is horrible. You can barely understand them. But what you can't understand is just them chalking just a DDoS of insults at you. It just never ends. It's just bad.
Tom and I have like kind of not a hard and fast rule, but if there's a game you can play online and you're supposed to talk with your human voice, we just don't do it.
Yeah.
If I were to be reviewing video games, you know how a lot of times reviewers will have like separate categories like graphics and music and gameplay and story, that kind of thing. I would have a master category called "Did I Hear Anyone's Voice?" And if the answer is yes, the game is 0.
Yeah. It's just really a bad idea when you let people, I mean, free speech in general, just not a good idea.
Where has it gotten us?
So are your peers like still fully in the thrall of Fortnite?
Oh, no. It used to, like, no joke, 3 months ago, people would be like, "Oh, Victory Royale," you know, and they'd only be, like, half ironic. Now, like, people who were on the top of the food chain before are the crickets. It's not it's not a good thing anymore. People will, in the hallways, I'll just be like going to class and whatnot, and you'll hear like a group of people, and one of them would be like, bro, didn't I like hear you say that you got like 3 wins in Fortnite? Like, that was a game like 3 months ago, you dummy. Like, get out of there.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is incredible.
This is like horrible.
This is incredible information. This intel is so valuable.
So something that Tom and I talked about a little bit in previous episodes, which is that like when we grew up, like gaming was a horrible, shameful hobby that you didn't want to let anyone know that you did. And now, see, you're growing up in an environment where it's much more open. And I have to say, yours is way worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before it was just like, well, I have a nice little treat and I have to do the small chore of hiding it, which is not very difficult to do. It's very easy to hide it. But you have to deal with like such Byzantine politics about this strange game where teens yell at you and everyone tries to murder you and they do a strange dance and a DJ named Marshmallow plays a concert during it. And then also Thanos is there.
Thanos is there. Yeah. Yeah, now we have Raid Shadow Legends and PUBG Mobile. It's not okay.
Oh my god.
Like, even as someone who's accustomed to Fortnite, like the fact that it is like a dumping ground for like all these weird tie-ins is weird to you, right?
Yeah. It's really odd. Oh, it's like somebody went to like Toys R Us and they just took like a bunch of random toys and they like threw them in like a melting machine and then they stuck that in a CD and then you have Fortnite. It's not okay.
Fortnite is just Funko Pops, the game.
Yeah. Oh god.
All right, is it? We've talked about Fortnite. You don't play Fortnite. You're as scared of it as us, which makes it much scarier to me.
Yeah.
What do you play? Because I know there's a game you do play.
Oh, are we going to talk about that now?
Yeah, I'm feeding you Minecraft prompts.
Minecraft. You can hear me rubbing my hands together. Minecraft is amazing. It's the best. It's so good.
So I have never played Minecraft, and my idea of what it is it's Legos. But then you said recently that you had to meet up with all your friends and fight a dragon together, which sounds like a different game. How come?
Well, there's like a bunch of different ways to play Minecraft. Very, very open game. But you pretty much have the 2 types of people. You have the cool people and you have the ding-dongs who like to build things and make like castles, and they spend like hours and hours like making these villages or whatever. But that's dumb. You gotta go out there and fight people. Get your friends online and kill them for sport. It's that's what the game was meant for in my eyes. But I guess there is other aspects.
I've seen like videos of like a child, like an 8-year-old, like making a 8-bit processor using programming blocks in Minecraft, and everyone is like, this is a fantastic like engineering achievement. And it might be, but my take is it sucks and it's boring.
Yeah, he's a ding-dong. It's been
He's
said.
a ding-dong. Listen, if you're not slaughtering left and right in Minecraft, I don't know what you're doing, man. Go on hardcore mode. Get yourself a sword and a really good bow. And speaking of bows, me and my friend are having an arms race right now. He has a power 5 bow, and let's just say it's really good, and I don't stand much of a chance.
So what's the plan?
What's the plan? The plan is I made an automatic fish farm, an AFK fish farm. And
so those words,
okay,
what?
Yeah. Okay, you put this in the document, the words AFK fish farm, and I was like, cool, I will never understand anyone younger than me for the rest of my life. And weirdly enough, I now that I know it's contextualized in Minecraft, I have a better sense of what it is. Without context, I thought it was like a new type of murder you guys do.
Yeah, you know, like waterboarding, burning at the stake, and then you have AFK fish farm. It's just all fits.
So what I do know is that AFK means away from keyboard. So I'm assuming you're setting up some sort of engine that does stuff while you're not there. Okay, I'm with you so far. What I don't understand is how fishing is involved, and further, how that is at all relevant to your answer to a level 5 bow.
Okay, well, think of it this way. If I put it into context, like it really is an arm race. I'm Russia, my friend is America, whatever, and we're both trying to get to the moon, right? But the moon's pretty far away, and we want to also intimidate in other ways. Pretty much, fishing is like uranium, and it's really good, and you can put it in bombs, and it's very intimidating, and it helps the arms race. Yeah.
My only question is, though, isn't like manufacturing a fish farm like inherently ding-dong behavior, or is it because it produces weapons of war that it's not nerd stuff?
Well, I think it might be like how it's like forbidden magic, you know? It's when you tap into the other side, that's when you get the most powerful, but you have to be careful because you run the risk of becoming a full-time ding-dong.
Yeah, seriously. It's like when you're fishing, you know, you're getting enchanted books that you can add to your weapons so you can kill your friends. And so it all comes back together. You would be surprised the library in the ocean in Minecraft that just kind of floats around.
I have no clue what you're saying is a metaphor and what is legitimately real. Legit.
You can find fire aspect 2 in the ocean. You can just find that. You can slap that on your bow and boom, shka, your friend's on fire and you're laughing.
And when you do all this, are you playing with mods or this is just vanilla stuff?
Vanilla. Very vanilla.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
You play with mods, you're lame. You're a ding-dong 3000 and you gotta get out of this earth. Kick yourself to the moon. That's
I just gotta say, Isa, so one of the things that Joe and I really agree on and have really come to believe is true is that the scariest thing in the entire universe is a teen. And then if a teen ever roasts you, you're basically already dead. And there's nothing you can do to resist. Because if you resist, you're just offering them an opportunity for an even worse roast.
Yeah, you're like holding out your neck so they can cut it again.
Yeah.
You're like, you only got halfway through, sir. The point I'm trying to make is that I've never been more scared than I am right now.
Oh, yeah. Teens are terrifying, and they look at you and they immediately think, oh, daddy issues. Or they look at you and they immediately think you have been traumatized for years about this one time, I don't know, you dropped a knife right next to your foot. Like, they will get to what's wrong with you and they will, like, stab at it with a needle.
What's so messed up about that is like I was a teen, I had that power, and it just goes away, and then you just become weak to it.
Like, I don't remember having that. Like, I guess I must have had it, but I just never like leveled up that skill tree. I never had it. Isa, like, you speak of it as though you're a neutral observer, but you have it. What does that feel like?
So it feels it's very dangerous, right? Because you don't want to hurt adults' feelings, right? They're the ones.
Yeah, you do. They're funny.
Yeah, they're haha. You know, good for them. But you know, like it's very dangerous. You need to watch your step. You know, if you are like hurting an adult that could be giving you money later on in the future, you really don't want to run in that black hole, because like 30 years later you're like, give me money, and they're like, but that one time, and then you grit your teeth and you rub your hands together and you think to yourself, man, I should have said that thing a long time ago.
I'll never forget when I was in high school, there was an English teacher who was like making fun of everyone, you know, like he was like the teacher that everyone like was cool about. And he was roasting people pretty good. And at one point he roasted this one kid, and that kid, his response was that he said, "Nice blouse." And that ended that. He won. It was like a friendly boxing match, and he was like, well, I'm gonna shoot you with a gun. Yeah, no,
that's like bringing a gun to not even a fight, just the park. It's not.
Yeah.
It's horrible, yeah. The idea, because teenagers have so much power in the fact that they have a reputation that, of course, they don't actually think your blouse is cool, you dumb idiot. Of course your blouse sucks. Nobody likes it, you know, like, it's already inherent. They have so much power.
Here's the thing that I think really illustrates the ultimate overwhelming strength of the teen roast. Joe, when you said that, I had a fleeting moment where I wanted to ask you what kind of shirt the teacher was wearing so that I could know like if it really was a dumb shirt. And then I realized that this is an irrelevant and redundant question because his shirt could be so normal.
It could be the nicest shirt. It was quite literally a run-of-the-mill button-down shirt that was tucked in. It was fine. Like it was.
You got him good.
The fact it was normal made it more devastating. Like if the shirt was like too big or there were stains on it, I guarantee you,
tears.
Not only that, but the person who said nice blouse would have picked something more vulnerable, something less obvious.
Yeah. I know. They're not going to attack where you put up your shield, you know?
Exactly.
Stab you in the legs.
Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode.
So Issa, now that you're here as a teen resource, we want to take this opportunity to say slang words to you, which we have been told is teen speak, and we want you to confirm that we've been lied to. Like, we don't actually believe people say this, but now that we have the opportunity to get like a definitive answer, we might
surprised.
As well. And here's the thing. What you're going to hear is almost certainly like several years out of date because that's when it starts getting funny to say.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, you go first. You drop the first one.
All right, so the podcast is called Anime Sickos. We got to address the elephant in the room. Sicko mode.
Sicko mode.
Do teens say sicko mode?
Okay. Short answer, no. Long answer. A long answer, I'd say definitely, like, people will, like, say you do a cool skate trick at the skate park, and all your friends drinking red slushies, you know, and they do, like, a cool, like, Healy, I don't know what, skating, whatever, and and your friend just goes, whoa, that's sicko mode! Like, you would judge them a little.
Okay, would you say it ironically, though? Like, would you knowingly say it knowing it's dumb?
No.
Not even then. That's pretty bad. That's bad for us. That's the worst thing to hear.
If there were two adults who made a podcast where like one of the main jokes was saying sicko mode all the time,
yeah,
that would be like a bad show.
That would be rough, right? Like
I'd
one
pull
of them.
my stocks out of that. Yeah.
Oh no.
Hypothetically, one of them is 31. So
hey, I'm still in my 20s technically.
Technically.
As technically as one can be, and not for many months longer.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, that's devastating, and I'm destroyed. Joe, how about you throw one out?
What about yeet? What's the stance on yeet? Because here's the thing about people in their 30s and late 20s. We're nuts about yeet.
I mean, honestly, that one somebody might say. Somebody might. It's like people who aren't funny will say that and think they're funny.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know, like somebody like throws the bottle and you're like, yeet!
That's all I wanted. That's all. I just wanted to know that was in the realm of reality.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Here's one. If what would you think if like I heard a song on the radio and I was like, this song kind of goes. What would you think?
Wait, that's it?
Kind of goes. Yeah, like this kind of goes.
I've never heard that in my life. What part of the teen spectrum you looking at? I don't know that.
So when we pitched this segment to you, part of it was that we were pretty sure that some of this stuff we've been tricked and is fake.
Yeah.
This might be the fake one.
Though, you know what people do say? People will say, like, we'll listen to a song and unironically say, this slaps.
Oh, yeah. I like that. That has gotten to me sincerely, so you probably should stop saying it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we know that, so it's dead now.
Okay, this is more, I've seen this online in a gaming context, so this is probably less like in the school hallway situation, but what does the phrase getting kind of nutty with it do? Is that anything?
It really what it means is nothing at all. It's just, you say it, you're thinking of words, they just won't come out. You're like, Jason Bourne, it's Jesus Christ, and you just can't think of what to say, and you're just like, oh, getting nutty with it, you know?
Okay, this is really a derivative of getting nutty with it, but kind of schnice with it.
I'm not gonna say that I heard that one, but I can only assume that somebody was like, I don't even know what the S comes from. Like,
saying stuff wrong is just real funny to us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
a good one.
Okay. So this is a further derivative. I'm assuming you're also going to not know what it means, but when you watch competitive fighting game players, and they do a really good job of positioning, and like they're always in the right spot, and they're like dancing right out of the range of their opponent's attacks and then getting right back in to counterattack themselves. What people will often say is that they're really schmoovin'.
When he says people, he means no one, I guess.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at.
I've been murdered.
Okay, what about bra moment? Do people say that? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that used up and it's being said in like an ironic sort of way, or is there a lot of like living energy still in bra moment?
I think there's a lot of living energy. I've heard people, you know, like they miss the. I've been doing a lot of examples, but yeah, I think bra moment has a lot of content to be mined.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm gonna go ahead and show my hand, which is that I'm an idiot who doesn't know a dang thing, and is barely literate. I don't really
Sounds
think.
like
Yeah, you got it. You've known me a while. You figured it out. So I don't think I fully understand the connotations of bra moment. So what I think it means, a bra moment is like when you did something dumb.
Yeah, it's exactly that. You're walking to your grandma's house, you have a bucket of cookies, and a wolf comes by, and the wolf's like, give me your cookies, tell me what your grandma is. And you tell them, and then like the narrator's like, that was a bra moment.
So it's to mess up when the focus is on you in a big public way.
Yeah. It's like when you tell the wolf where your poor grandma's house is.
That wolf got kind of nutty with it, I gotta say.
The wolf
He was
schmoovin'. Yeah. You should start saying schmoovin' at school, and if no one kills you, circle back with us.
Yeah, I'll report in, you know.
Okay, so the final piece of slang that I really want to know is, apparently, for a while, it was a popular reaction to show that you were laughing online to type SK. And then I heard someone claim that teens say that out loud. They say,
What? Are they trying to get cats to come near them? What is happening?
It's so okay to talk about. You got to talk about TikTok in the trash burning tire fire. It is.
Gimme.
It's just. Oh no, it's so bad. And there's this like thing where like the people online on TikTok are making fun of a group of people that say, but they don't exist. They're making fun of people. They're not real. Nobody actually does that, but they make fun of people who supposedly do it, and then they do it themselves. It's just,
Well, I find the whole notion of like fabricating enemies and then feeling superior to these fake people really relatable. I like this.
Yeah, I was going to say, Issa, if you find this pattern frustrating, bad news. That's going to happen forever.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh.
We're the anime sickles, and we're here to say anime is bad in a war crime way.
So, Issa, I'm thinking back to when I was in high school, and I think about what I understood politically, which is Nothing. I didn't know anything. I was aware that there was a war happening, and the war was real bad vibes, and I was unable to articulate it beyond that.
Little more than bad vibes.
My political opinion was the Iraq war is bad because the word war makes me feel sad. And here's the thing, as I've aged and become politically aware, like, that thought is smarter than what, like, literally every politician working at the time had. But you, I know that you often, when you're doing your fun jokes, will just sort of slide in the fact that you're a radical socialist, which is honestly hilarious. But, like, I gotta ask, like, are the kids radicalized?
Obviously, this is a little bit of different perspective from every kid. I come from a very blue state, so the school, you know, it's all Democrats. But yeah, pretty much like nobody. I guess a lot of people would call kids at my school radicalized, but I wouldn't consider them that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you though?
No, but it's so much funnier. You're not gonna be like, I don't know, like, it's so much better if you're like nuke 'em, or you're like, we should do communism. Like, those are funny things, but just being normal is like, what's wrong with you?
Right, like, no one's talking about how they really respect Nancy Pelosi, right?
Yeah,
like, that's not happening. Okay, cool.
It's better to be like, Nancy Pelosi over here doesn't know how to run the house, you know, it's just, that's better. It's more funny.
So, like, were you aware of when, like, Dianne Feinstein, who was 100 years old, had kids who were rightfully upset about, you know, the planet burning up in an oily fireball, and she kind of shooed them away? Like, were you guys aware of stuff like that? And what does that do to you when you, like, to your brain, when you know that these are the people in power, and these are extensively the people that are the quote unquote good ones?
I think it's just in my personal, like, friend group, it's just more jokes. It's just more jokes. If you don't stop joking, you're gonna start crying. So
oh Lord,
you just gotta push past it, you know, and just know that one day you'll be older and you can do stuff.
Here's the thing, Issa. What you just said is extremely wise. And if you were to, right now, go on Twitter and post Nancy Pelosi doesn't know how to control the house, you would get retweeted 10,000 times.
Yeah.
Because that is the best post I've heard all day.
Oh.
Yeah, all lowercase.
Yeah. And like 6 commas.
Yeah. So you understand. Your uncle does not understand that he needs to just start putting 6 commas and stuff.
Yeah.
Commas that are wrong. Oh, that's the stuff.
They're so good. They're
Here's
hilarious.
Here's what I do know, though. If you posted that, someone who is not funny, who doesn't have a sense of humor, is going to get really mad at you because they really respect Nancy Pelosi, and they're going to be like, I can't believe you would talk about Nancy Pelosi like that. And what I do know is that when you get into that situation, the ultimate move is to reply in all lowercase, who's Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah, that's the best thing. That would be the best thing to say. Yeah, that'd be so good. Oh no. Or the other best thing to say is, like, you know, the star thingy, the star sign. You write star and then your.
What? I don't know this.
It's pretty much, you would, okay, in old people terms, you would write, actually it's your, not your.
Oh,
under it.
The grammar check, but you do it wrong. Okay, that's also really good.
Yeah, correcting people's grammar to be wrong is incredible. It's actually spelled schnice.
No, not the. Don't bring back the schnice again.
No, I will. I will do it forever. See, and here, Issa, you made the critical error. Kids have the power of ultimate roasting, but old people have the power of doing an annoying thing that kids hate over and over because they told them they hate it. When you told me schnice was stupid, what I did was my brain pushed a big rock up a hill, and it has the word schnice written on it, and it's ready to roll down at any point when I deem it necessary.
No. This is horrible. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm going to be like texting you and your dad being like, I watched this new anime. It's getting kind of schnice with it. And you're going to just have to deal with it.
Yeah, I might, like put my phone under a steamroller, but yeah, I'd just deal with it.
Yeah, and then I'd know that I ruined your phone with my posting, and I'd feel so strong.
No.
So I gotta ask though, like, I cannot reiterate enough, and I'm not saying that I was indicative of everyone, but the political awareness I would, and I was in high school from 2003 to 2007. So this is the height of the start of the Iraq War and stuff, and obviously I was aware that it was unjust, but my peers were not really tuned in. Do you get the sense that, like, your peers are, like, informed insofar as the way things are bad?
I think that my group of friends is very informed, but I would not reflect that to the school. I've had, like, people not know, like, what the death sentence is, and and people, like, just, like, not know who, like, political figures are, like, the vice president. Like, it's not looking good. I have a pretty good, well-informed group of friends. I'm in the debate club and everything, so...
oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So they
That's
all know.
a double-edged sword, though, because so I did speech and debate, and what that does is it makes you unable to relate to people your age unless they are in speech and debate. So that sucks for you. I'm sorry.
Okay, you don't have to put this in the podcast, but what kind of debate do you do? What did you do?
So my events were, I did everything. I did special occasion speaking, I did radio speaking, I did extemp, which was the political thing, which, again, I can't reiterate how stupid I was. The thing that made me very successful in it is that my current voice is how I've sound since I've been 8 years old.
Oh no, that'd be terrifying! An 8-year-old go up to you and be like, "Can I have some ice cream?"
Yeah, but when you do speech and debate and you're competing against other weird little freak adult kids, you can see how that's a boon to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Isa, this is again me showing my ignorance because I sort of you always overestimate the intelligence of the people around you, even if someone is sort of misinformed on the facts, like what the death penalty is and who the vice president is. It seems to me that if you are growing up in a world where, like, every month there's a mass shooting in a school and people like you are getting murderized, and also there is a big time climate change that no one's doing anything about, and all of these sort of like benchmarks of like we have to change things before it gets to this point or else we're doomed are getting blown past with incredible speed. And also, like, when everyone knows more than ever that, like, if you go to the hospital and you're poor, you just die. You don't get to go there. It seems to me that growing up in this scenario, even if you don't know, like, what a vice president is, you still kind of know, like, things aren't good and are bad and should be different. Like, when I was a kid, the idea that things should be different was, like, that was light years away from entering my head. Mm-hmm. The idea that a thing could ever be different, like, if it weren't good, why would an adult have done it? That was my sort of thought process.
I think it's, like, a little better. I mean, at least in my school, it's, like, better. Like, people are really not informed, but they always take the option that sounds like the nicest, right? So, like, not war and, like, not death. So I think that's better. But on the other hand, like, I see most kids and I am worried because most of them don't seem like they want to do anything about it. They seem like, I don't know, everybody around here just seems like so distant. Like they don't think that they're like a part of this world or anything.
Well, they're going to make great adults.
Yeah.
They will be so good at being adults. They'll be better than me, honestly.
Yeah. One thing Sho and I have learned, and has really been a big problem for both of us, is that if you are thoughtful and sort of reflect on things and wonder, like, why is the world the way it is?
You messed up so bad.
But you already lost.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So we danced around it a little bit, but, like, what actually radicalized you?
Aside from the fact that it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's being a communist teen is the funniest thing. It's really the scariest thing that an adult can imagine, which is like a teen making fun of your shoes and they have a hammer and sickle. But
Okay.
like, what has radicalized you politically? Like, what has happened to change the way you view the world and all that sort of stuff?
All right. I'm gonna get real here for a second, all right? So, there's one thing that everyone wants. We both know it. We all know it. It's money. And we all need it. It's money. And
Yeah.
so, like, when you want to become famous, right? So you can get all that good big buck bills. And so you want to stand out from the crowd. And the average Joe isn't trying to inject Stalin into the minds of the young ones. So you're over here, you want to make that good yummy cash, and you got to go and preach your ideas that are different and new. You know, you're reading the Communist Manifesto day and night. You're thinking about Marx and the other guy.
Engels.
And you're taking selfies with Putin and everything, and you're having a fun time.
Follow.
And so, and bing bang bong, you're on the cover of the news. 8-year-old kid is in love with communism and wants to change the world. And you know what? That's what makes the money, because now all the daily shows, you know, all the late nights and the early mornings are going to want me to sit down, talk to them about how we all got to share a little bit more.
Okay, that's so like this isn't pure self clout seeking interest, which I really respect.
Yeah,
Tanky for clout.
gotta get that clout, though.
I mean, honestly, of all the ways you could get clout, it's probably the most moral.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Also, I would wish that the Daily Show would be like, oh, for sure, let's get a communist on here.
No, yeah.
Instead, they're getting guys who, like, did spreadsheets for Obama to tell you how, like, it's actually good when Amazon kills their employees and turns them into nutrient slime.
Yeah, people are tuning out. They're not listening. They don't want to hear that from spreadsheet guy, you know? Obama.
Zinged them. Ah. This is not related to the topic that we're talking about now, but I just saw this on the document. I don't think I saw this before, but you wrote, if you like BNHA, you're a weeb.
Yeah.
So BNHA is referring to My Hero Academia, but you're calling it Boku no Hero Academia,
Boku no Hero Academia.
which is Isa, it got translated. It happened. It's called My Hero Academia. They did it for you.
Hey, you listen here and you listen close. You listen, all right? And everybody who's cool online is calling it Boku no Hero Academia. So don't make fun of me.
Okay. Let's accept Boku no, which it's difficult for me because I know that the word no in Japanese doesn't mean the same thing in English, but every time I read it, my brain is just like, oh, Boku no Hero Academia, there's going to be no Hero Academia in this show. And then when there is Hero Academia, I'm like, what the, huh? Anyway, no, if you like Boku no Hero Academia, you're a weeb?
Yeah, it's for legit.
Explain yourself.
I'm saying to you right now that there are like cool anime and not cool anime. If you're watching Full Metal Alchemist and Dr. Stone and stuff, you're the coolest kid on the block. You're Attack on Titan. You're being awesome. You're edgy and you're nice and you're cool. If you're over here watching Boku no Hero Academia, you're soft. You don't know what's good for you, and you probably like flowers and like, I don't know, like mangoes or something.
I cannot reiterate how funny it is that you said this, because we previously had a guest of ours, a friend of ours, Marquez, and he told a horrible story about a teen roasting him that almost killed him. And on that episode, he mentioned that he doesn't really watch anime, but he's really into My Hero Academia. And
what an idiot!
And the fact that now you just did it again just shows that there's like this awful circle of death.
Yeah.
He's got the brand of sacrifice upon him. He's doomed. Again, this kind of ties back into what we were talking about like, how is it that gaming is now like a cool thing? In our day, if you watched any cartoons from the disgusting East. You were you just can't talk about that. There was
the fact that
good
you are
one.
carving out cool anime versus lame anime is, to me, insane.
It's like, hey, some fire, really hot. But some fire, really cold. You're gonna want to stick your hand in the cold fire. It's like, what do you? Have you seen?
We're talking
fire?
about the sun and a candle, Tommy. We're talking about that's what we're talking about. All right.
And I'm also amazed that Dr. Stone is the cool one because Dr. Stone tries to teach you stuff, which I don't approve of.
I mean, I haven't actually watched it, but all the cool kids in my school are watching it, so that's my reporting done, you know?
Oh my god. I gotta ask, what is it about the cool anime versus the lame anime that makes them cool? Is it just who watches them?
I think that's at least 75% of it.
I appreciate that honesty. I really do.
Yeah, but I think like the other 25% is like Boku no Hero Academia. Yeah, I said it. Is like about like teenagers with superpowers, right?
Sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, this is good to me. What's the issue here?
Yeah, guys, you gotta step up your cool levels real fast.
What is Demon Slayer about if not teenagers with superpowers?
Well, except that they are. Stop asking questions. You're being too inquisitive.
It's about how carrying your sister around in a wicker basket is super neat.
Yeah. And how if you're watching Boku no Hero Academia, you're watching, I don't know, like a reality TV show almost, right? But then nobody, I guess nobody. Okay, you know what? I do have a difference. Boku no Hero Academia, nobody dies that much. And the amount of blood, I think, like Attack on Titan and Kimetsu no Yaiba are it's just a blood river. It's crazy.
Yeah. Attack on Titan is awful because it's people just getting eaten by huge naked babies that are also old men.
It's odd. It's odd.
Issa, I'm about to lay a mind bomb upon you. I've watched Dr. Stone. No one ever gets hurt.
What?
Not even hurt. No one gets wounded.
What?
They literally just do science experiments and learn how to make glass using Stone Age tools.
Being smart is the new cool, Tommy. All right?
I seriously doubt that.
No. You got your elements memorized. You're going off to prom. You know, you're riding in the limo.
Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. 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 Issa, I got into role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games, much like the popular Dungeons & Dragons, otherwise known as D&D, when I was in my mid-20s so that I could make a podcast, which is the worst sentence in the universe. Ugh, send me to hell. Anyway, you play D&D as a child, which is the appropriate time to play it. How did you get into it? And tell me your stories.
Okay. Oh my gosh, so much. Okay, so the library was running Dungeons and Dragons, and I heard it was just like this one Merlin show that I watched on Netflix. It's really good. I heard that the game was just like that, so I go there and I play, and I see this guy, and I'm like, wait, you're from my reading class. And he's like, oh yeah, I love Dungeons & Dragons. And I'm like, whoa, cool. And then, turns out he has a bunch of cool D&D friends. And so, now we're all at a table, and we're all playing Dungeons & Dragons. That's the story.
I gotta say, I was aware of Dungeons & Dragons in high school. I played it briefly. If I went to a public place, like a library, to see it, and I saw someone from my school there, I would die.
Oh, no.
But I get the sense, and I mean this in the best way, people younger now, teens now, seem just more sincere about their interests, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, definitely.
Yeah, we'll leave that to future historians to judge.
Yeah.
Issa, we have a little bit of time before the episode wraps up. I want to hear some of your greatest hits, because your dad has told me out of context things, which sound so made up. Well, I guess all of D&D is made up, but like I need to hear it from your mouth to believe it.
Oh no. Every single thing, I have 2 stories. Both of them are tremendous acts of terrorism, and it's insane. Okay, so one of them, I was a rogue. I love rogues, and I was in Waterdeep. We were doing like, I think it was like Tomb of Annihilation or something. And pretty much what was going on is I was getting arrested by the police because I was trying to pull somebody into an alleyway so that I can change their clothes so that I could go into this place and pretend to be a different person and steal some stuff. So that was like a whole other thing. But now I'm getting like arrested by the police, and my friend, same guy I met at the library, did a horrible mistake and said that the policemen rode in on war elephants and that one of them got off of their war elephant. And like a normal person, I put my hands up, I do a back handspring onto the elephant, I ride it around, and I drive it right into a shop. And believe it or not, my friend, who was also playing, got impaled by the elephant's tusk and died right then by my own hands. And then the police start like swarming around. I managed to squirm my way through like a hole in the wall. And, you know, police are just coming in. There's like a giant rock statue coming after me, and like people on Pegasuses, and they're like shooting at me. I was getting really good rolls. I was moving out of the way and all that. And a Pegasus guy comes like near me and like starts like hitting me and stuff, and he makes another move, making an animal near me. So I grab this guy on the Pegasus, I just chuck him off, I jump on the Pegasus, fly into the sky. The other Pegasus guys are shooting at me, arrows everywhere. I strap myself to the Pegasus with a rope because I kept failing my animal handling checks. And people were just arrows everywhere. I was like trying to survive. I couldn't shoot any more arrows because I was all tied up now. And they shoot my horse down. My Pegasus is dead. And I'm falling from the sky strapped to a dead horse. And and I'm falling like into a nearby forest, and so I'm doing my best to try to like bunch up like the horse to like break the impact, and turns out only unconscious. I survive my death saving throws, and I run off into the forest. By then the rock statue was like catching up to me and crap, and I dig a hole, I get in it, and that was the end of the session.
Incredible. I'm also really impressed that you guys actually did like the death saving stuff, because when we do like campaigns and there's like actual opportunity for a character to die and like you have to redo a bunch of stuff, that's a lot of work. So we just don't do it.
Yeah, my take is like, if you died right now, that would be so bad. So you lived.
Yeah.
Like, it would be so boring. It's like if in an anime there was like 10 henchmen and then like the main villain, and then they're like, our hero died on the second henchman. It's like, well, at least die on the last henchman if you're gonna die.
Yeah, my friend was a little merciful. He didn't throw rocks. The giant. Yeah. So
this speaks to a thing about D&D and role-playing games in general that I think really is the key, which is like, you can have the actual story and like have there be a plot and like a mission, but when it gets really fun is when, like, there's just a series of ever-increasing failures that make everything get really crazy.
Oh, yes. That's exactly it.
Tom led a Curse of Strahd campaign, and
nice.
That's supposed to be, like, you know, really, like, brooding and, like, high-stakes terror and stuff. And when you like continue to do that dumb stuff in the context of what is supposed to be horror, that's real funny. Like, I'm sorry.
Wait, is that the roll 2d20s for the sickness thing?
No.
That's another one?
No,
all
it's...
right.
Well, I don't know. It may be in there. But
Yeah.
Curse of Strahd is just like you're trapped in vampire world, and vampire wants
I know
get
that
you.
one. Sorry, never mind.
So tell me the second story.
Oh,
You
no.
mentioned 2 stories.
This one's even worse. Okay, so this one was DM'd not by my friend that I met at the library, but by his friend, who was actually on my debate team when we won the tournament. So that was fun.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah, it's very cool. But anyway, so shebang shabong, I am I'm a ranger, and it's a new campaign and everything. And my whole thing is that I want to be an actor, and I like switch characters every now and then. And so I get my big break. We're underground. We're actually funny. We were in Water Deeper, and and so we were we were in this, like, we got sold into slavery, and then a guy bought me so that I could be an actor because I showed my prowess after practicing to be a slave for so long. And so he delivers me to the theater with the rest of my friends. My friend that I met at the library, he decides to be a techie. Obviously, I'm going for the main role, and I bomb my audition, and I am a background character, and that makes me so mad. So middle of the play, me and my friend are trying to, like, figure out ways that I can get paid more, so, like, become, like, better. So his idea is he has this magical chug jug.
Who's paying you?
The guy who runs the theater. and so my friend has, like, a magical chug jug that will just make whatever liquid he wants. And so his idea is you're not allowed to get drunk, right? So it's the intermission, and you're not allowed to drink before the next act. So his idea is I go in, I, like, be cool, and I put the alcohol in front of them and make them all, like, intoxicated, and then I will move up the ranks because they all get fired, right? Easy plan. Mm-hmm. So I take the jug in, I set it on the table, and I scream, "Who wants to get drunk?" And immediately everybody stares at me. Its room is silent, and somebody starts escorting me out of the empty room. At that moment, I'm, like, getting really flustered. I'm, like, mad. I wanted to be the lead role. Like, why is this happening to me? I, like, slap them, and I say, "Get out of my way!" And I, like, run onto the stage. The curtain is closed and everything. And I forget what play we were performing, but there was a giant chicken in it. There's a giant statue of a chicken in the play. So I do, the normal thing. In a fit of rage, I light a match, and I light that on fire. What I didn't know is that the chicken was very highly flammable, like feathers. It immediately just goes, like that's the sound it made. And it just goes up in flames, and it starts spreading all around the theater. Remember, we are underground, and everything is really held up by this, like, by very weak posts. So I'm running around. My friend is, like getting really upset because people are, like, screaming. And suddenly, the people start trying to evacuate. But lucky for them, the whole place collapses. So, because the fire's been spreading for a while, it gets to the rafters and whatever, and the doors are blocked by rubble. So, the fire keeps getting worse. Everybody's trapped inside. I managed to weasel out through the back, like, acting door, but everything is serious. It's just up in flames. And my friend, he has, like, a mechanical buddy, because he was, like, an artificer, and his buddy is stuck in the flames, and he has to leave him behind. And so he comes out, his character's all sad, and I'm over here like, God, I didn't get the main lead. And everything's on fire, and my friend, we started this tradition after I became a terrorist right then, is where random people in the game will walk up to me and tell me a number, and that's the death count. And so, somebody walks up to
Lord.
me, they look at me with, like, dead eyes, and they just say 200, and they walk away. It was a bad moment. As you know, police shrouding around. My friend is so mad at me. They refuse to talk to me. Their best mechanical buddy in the flames, whatever, who cares? And so I get on the back of one of, like I normally do. I push a police officer off one of their, like, squid horses.
Yeah,
I get on that.
The DM should not be putting animals next to you, ever.
Ever, no. This guy wasn't there for the disaster before, so he didn't have the experience.
Do you guys ever deal with enemies that just aren't cops? Because it's like based on the two stories, it's just like a game where you're a fantasy character who fights cops.
It seems like Grand Theft Auto, honestly.
Yeah. It's seriously, it is Grand Theft Auto. Because after I get on my horse thingy, I'm, like, throwing grenades at policemen, and I throw a grenade at one of the storage trucks. And for some reason, they had TNT in it so that they could blow up, like, the rubble and get people out. I don't know what his idea was, but, more people walk up to me. They say, like, 14, 25. It's not okay. But, I mean, it's like a loop. It just keeps going. But I'll end it there.
Issa, that's all the time we have for Anime Sickos. Thank you so much for joining us. This was super good.
Yeah, this ruled. This was a good idea.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank y'all at home for listening. We're Anime Sickos. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
I'm Issa. I'm an anime sicko.
Bye. thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.